My name is Tony Litt. I'm the MD of Sunrise Radio, and it's my immense pleasure to bring you the official Sunrise Radio podcast. We are the #1 commercial Asian station in the United Kingdom, with many firsts to our name, and we continue to be the voice of British Asians who have given us their love and loyalty over 30 years. It's a legacy we cherish and a responsibility that we don't take lightly. Our aim has always been to entertain the listeners with the best of Bollywood and Bhangra, while also addressing their concerns. A real voice for the community, a vibrant community, and a great nation. We are proud to be British and Asian. This podcast is a compilation of some of the things we do on the station, with a stellar lineup of presenters who each have their own personality and style. It's entertaining, informative, engaging, and we hope you will enjoy it here as a podcast if you are unable to tune in to the radio. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your family and friends about this podcast, and do leave us a comment on what you think. We'd love to hear from you. All the best always. Team Sunrise.
The UK's biggest station mix. Sunrise Radio.
Time for my amazing guest. Hey, Juggy, can you hear me?
Yes, I've got you. How are you, man?
Thank you. Glad to have you with me as well. Is Jussie there as well?
Yeah, she's standing next to me, just in case I say anything wrong.
Jussie, don't let him hog the phone, yeah? Don't let him hog the phone. If you've got something to say, just say it. Anyway, welcome, my friend. You are joining me for Pillow Talk here on the Love Lounge, and you are known as the Indian body coach. And I thought, what great kind of topic to cover this evening, because, of course, we're into like cuffing season, but also not only that, of course, we've got Diwali around the corner, Christmas is on the way, and this is where people can sort of pile on the pounds a little bit, because obviously Valentine's is coming up straight after that too. So naturally, people want to be in shape. They want to be sort of ready for getting themselves out there, potentially finding love, or even staying in shape and looking good for the ones they love as well. So I thought it'd be good to get you on to kind of get some of your tips. So before I do that, though, before I ask you that, please do tell us like a little bit about yourselves and how you got into this line of work, and how long have you two been together?
Yeah, so should I go professional first or personal? You decide.
No, absolutely up to you, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, well, me and Jessie have been married for 11 years now, as of last month.
You've been married for 11, do you say 11 or 12?
11 years.
Nice.
11.
Okay.
Known each other for 12, but married for 11.
Wow, nice.
So yeah, that's a massive story within itself. But yeah, professionally, obviously, we both run the Complete Health Rewire together. So that's the program that we deliver to our members, and we've got a worldwide membership base, and we support busy professionals, executives, and business owners to basically find the balance between family, health, and growth. Because obviously these days, our attention is pulled in a million directions at once, and we really need to refine where we spend our energy and time.
Absolutely, 100%, right? Because obviously we get, like you said, we get pulled in God knows how many directions, right? And not only that, not only do we get pulled in different directions, but we hear so much information out there as well, which probably confuses the hell out of the average person, because there's, you hear, this is good for you, this is not good for you, this is good for you, this is not good, and it's just crazy, right? But we're in a period of time now where people can easily let loose a little bit, and, go a bit crazy and probably consume a little bit too much. Whereas I know a lot of people want to be feeling good about themselves. So what do you normally tell people about how to maintain a little bit of discipline at this time of year? And also get to a point where they start to feel better about themselves, whatever position they're in as well. Because a lot of people, they struggle with that. They struggle with that kind of like that self-identity in terms of, I'm overweight, I'm this, I look like this, I feel like this, I don't feel good, etc. So where do you normally start with people?
I'll be honest, I think the first place to start is just understanding the individual that's standing in front of you. So I think what you touched on there was really important. What do you identify as? So what are your identities? What are your values? What are your beliefs? Because ultimately, if we can understand that, then we can hopefully align your actions towards that. So if you say to me, Juggy, I'm an incredibly healthy person, but then every day you're going out having takeaways and you haven't been to the gym for 6 months, I would say that there's probably a bit of a mismatch between what you're saying you are and the actions that you're taking. So we might be jumping in a little bit too deep early here, but actually, I don't think people need to be told that jalebi's really calorific and you shouldn't have 10 of them. You shouldn't have 25 gulab jamun just because it's in front of you. I don't think people need to be told that. I think people really need to find that balance from within, who they are, how they wish to live their lives, and then starting to try and build their habits and build their daily behaviors to align towards that.
So that's where I've been going wrong, having all those gulab jamuns and pendas and all that kind of stuff. Right, making notes here. Carry on.
But I think this is the thing. I mean, there's so many foods that are vilified, and this is part of why I do what I do. You know, when I first started coaching people, and even when I was first coached, I was told you can't have Indian food. Indian food is unhealthy. You'll never be able to lose weight if you eat Indian food. And one of the biggest misconceptions for me is our food is incredibly healthy. It's incredibly nutritious if you know how to manage it properly. And of course, you know, in terms of these celebratory foods, if we're having them a couple of times a year, or maybe at a certain celebration, it's not something we would have as a staple part of our diet. So I do think there's a lot made of these types of foods, and really there doesn't have to be when you've got the right education on board.
It's true. Do you know, when I go around the world and whatever, I always tell people, I don't think you realize just how healthy Gujarati food is, like, and even Indian food for that matter as well. It's so healthy, and, you know, so much variety as well. But obviously, anything can be turned unhealthy if you make it with bad ingredients. You add tons of oil, sugar, salt, whatever. But ultimately, though, at its core, it's incredibly healthy, and I think a lot of people don't realize that.
Oh, 100%. Think about the diversity you have within every dish that you make. Like, how many of the cuisines would have 10 to 15 different ingredients in just one dish? And I think that's something that people overlook. They're always hearing about calories and oils and this, and that, and the other. And they forget the thing that actually drives their health is the micronutrients we consume. So, yeah, look, there's so many misconceptions. I'm not sure if we can spend a whole hour maybe just clearing some of them up, or maybe that might be a future show.
Yeah, that we'll save that for a full podcast episode at some point in the future. But it's so true. But you know what? I just want to touch upon you guys and your relationship. Is this something you were both doing before you met, or is it something you've come together and decided to do? Was it something that you guys bonded over, or something that you created together?
That's a really good question, Matt. Well, so I've been doing this since university. I studied nutrition at university, always with a view to supporting members. I originally thought I was going to do it on a public health level, but I realised there wasn't really many opportunities there. So I actually created the Complete Health Rewire myself. And Jussie's, she has always been very kind of enthusiastic around exercise from her younger years, but obviously we train in very different ways. And I think Jussie can probably speak for herself around her nutrition. She prefers, you know, what do you call it, Jussie, with the two hobnobs stuck together?
Hobnob sandwich.
She likes to have hobnob sandwiches.
I love it, Jussie.
I hadn't even heard of that. I didn't even know that was a term until she said it on a podcast recently, and so many people have come back to her and supported her. But it's not something that we both did initially, but it's just certainly something we both got passion for now. Jussie literally just ran a half marathon with me without even training for it a couple of weeks ago, and we've climbed Ben Nevis this year. We've done so many big challenges, and we love to do them together.
Nice. A half marathon, Jussie, without training. That's very impressive. That's a hard thing to do.
Well, yeah, I guess, a lot of mindset work went into that. I think on the day, I think I actually said to Dougie at one point, I think I'd rather be giving birth right now than doing this. But pushed through and got there in the end. Never did I think it'd be something that I'd actually accomplished. You know, it's one of those things that you think, oh, that'd be nice to do.
Yeah.
But then it's nice actually putting it into practice.
Yeah, I mean, I've done 3 half marathons in my life, and I've done 2 full ones so far, and I definitely want to do more. It's so funny. While I'm running a marathon, I'm always thinking I'm running there, going, "What the hell was I thinking? What was going through my mind when I decided to do this?" But every time I get to the end, I'm like, "Got to do another one of these." Just a total glutton for punishment I am as well. So, are you going to do another?
Do you know what from the way I've been talking and actually doing some research on some better running trainers and things like that, I think it's definitely in the pipeline.
Yeah, I think so as well. Hey, listen, next one you guys do, I might join you as well. You'll have to.
I know, yeah, I was going to say, you sound like you're the expert at this, so you may as well come and join us.
Happy to as well. I definitely no expert. I mean, I did my last marathon was 7 hours. The one before that was 7.5. So at least I cut it by 30 minutes. But it's obviously a slow slog for me. Just a very, very light jog. But do you know what? I believe in challenging myself too as well. And do you know? I say to people, right? You know how a lot of people out there, when they're single and they're looking for someone, I guess in some way, shape or form, they almost think like they're solving a problem and that everything's going to be okay for, after that. And I'm like, no, actually the real work begins once you get into a relationship. Actually, being single by comparison is very easy. Wait till you get into a real relationship and you've been married or been together for a long time. Then when you face the challenges together, that's when you'll see the real work having to, be needed and kicking in. And with you guys, with both of you, doing what you do, what are some of the challenges you face together that actually has kind of enabled you to help people in a better way as well, especially, when it comes to people in relationships, people wanting to feel good, people wanting to feel better about themselves, or dating and they're single?
Do you know what I think? It's fine. In a relationship together, because we've got two young boys. We've got a business to run. We've got various things going on outside of that, whether it be work or just having a social life. So actually finding the time to properly connect and switch off the devices, switch off all the things that be present with one another. I think that's been a massive, it's something that we've had to really work on to ensure that we don't just kind of get swallowed up with all of our responsibilities. I think, you don't have a lot of initially, and then you start to grow into a relationship. But then when life's challenges come up, for example, having two children, the impact just that would have had on you and how that made you feel in terms of your energy, your body confidence, and then even myself going from being a competitive athlete to stepping away from that sort of lifestyle and allowing myself to gain a few pounds. Obviously in a healthy way, but that also had a bit of an impact for us in terms of body confidence. So there's so many different challenges, but I think the biggest thing always comes back to how good are you at effectively communicating what you're experiencing, what you're going through, and ultimately where you need a bit more help and support.
Yeah, I like that. And do you know what? Everyone I speak to, it always comes down to this fundamental idea of communication and just actually really talking things through. And harboring anything you're feeling is one of the worst things you can do in a relationship. Even with yourself, if you're feeling something, or you don't, if you can't sort of get it out of your system in some way, shape or form, talking to someone, discussing it, being able to have someone on the other side who can empathize and actually then let you know it's okay. I feel that too. A lot of people do, but don't worry, we'll find a way to work through it with you and stuff. And that's what really can make a difference in a relationship. And I'm not just talking romantic, I'm talking every relationship. The people we connect with, having that true empathy to be able to step into someone else's shoes and truly hear them. That's real relationship power, isn't it?
That's so true. But I think one of the blockers comes up where people will think that they're burdening the other with what they're experiencing. And the moment you start to consider your issues, your challenges, your emotions as a burden, I think that should be the biggest kind of almost a red flag to you to say, I need to do something to increase my self-efficacy and self-esteem. Because if you don't see yourself as important enough to share what you're experiencing, you're going to create another barrier to just expressing yourself and being in a position to really garner the support from the people you actually need it from the most.
Very, very true, man. That's such a good point. You're right, is where you feel like you're burdening someone. I think I could almost say that, blokes in general are very guilty of that. They just tend to oh no, I don't want to trouble anyone with what I'm going through and stuff like that. And so they'll hold it in, they'll hold it back. And I think it's something very common and very true and really good point. Well made. Thank you guys for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's time to welcome back my guest, Juggy Sidhu, and his lovely wife, Jessie Sidhu, as well, the Indian body coach, and their beautiful team they are. And we're going to put this team to the test right now as well, because they are joining me for the Couples Challenge.
How well do you know your partner? Come along and play the Couples Game here on Sunrise with the Love Doctor on Sunday between 7 and 10 p.m. WhatsApp the studio now.
Right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I think so.
Has he already left the room?
Yeah.
Okay, so he can't hear you, right?
No.
Oh, beautiful. Excellent. Right, okay, cool. So you have got the easy job today, which is brilliant. Okay, it's the easiest bit of this. So basically how this is going to work, I'm going to ask you 5 questions about you. Be as honest as you can. And then when we get Juggy back into the room, I'm going to ask him the same 5 questions, and he's got to try and give me the answers that you've given me, okay?
Okay, that's cool. I'm still feeling a bit nervous. I'm glad that he's got the harder part.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll make his life hard. All right, so easy one to begin with. Question 1. What is your favourite choice of naughty food or snack? But I have a feeling we've covered this one already, but feel free to give me something else.
Oh, naughty food or snack. Can it be like a dessert?
Yeah, anything. Like, what's your go-to? You know, when you just have one of those moods, like I need to have a quick binge of something. What's your normal go-to?
Oh yeah, I love a biscuit. I'd say the Fox's V&S fingers. That's it.
Oh, those chocolate fingers.
I can finish a pack of those easily.
I love it. Okay, cool. Question 2. What's a bad habit that you have that Juggy absolutely hates?
I mean, have I got any bad habits?
Good question. I mean, it's a good one. It's a tough
Eye
one.
rolling. Yeah.
Eye rolling. Oh, that's a good one. I love that one. Eye rolling. I love it. Question number 3. What's something that's on your bucket list that you really want to do? Is like one of the next things that you must do?
Oh God. I've got a few, I think.
What would be at the top of the list or close to the top?
Go Cuba. I really want to do that.
All right, cool, nice. Go to Cuba. Me too as well. That's on my list.
I was going to say jump out of a plane, but I don't know if I've got it in me to do that.
Well, that's why it's a bucket list, right? You know, I mean, it's an idea we toy with till someone pushes us over the edge. Question 4. What would you say is the best vacation that you and Juggy have been on together?
There's a couple. I'm going to go with Venice. I think it's just such a beautiful place. I could go there again and again.
Oh, God, don't say that to my wife. She just still hates me for the fact that we never went on a gondola when we went to Venice. She really hates me for that. All right, last question.
That's an excuse to go back.
Yeah. That's what I keep telling her, right? And to be honest, it was such a hot time we were there. I was like, I can't sit on a slow boat when it's this hot. Last but not least, what's a favourite movie that you've seen loads of times? Like, it could be anything, by the way, Hollywood, Bollywood, or otherwise, but just something you like, like you could just sit down and watch it over and over again.
Titanic, 100%.
Titanic, that's a really good one.
As a kid, I watched it God knows how many times. Obviously, I had to close my eyes and look away at the naughty scenes, but...
And now you can enjoy it as much as you want. Right, perfect.
Yeah.
That was pretty harmless, right? That's your 5 questions. So let's get him back in the room. Call him back in right now.
Okay, let me give him a shout.
No worries. And while she's doing that, while Jessie's calling him back in the room, to anyone else out there, this is how the Couples Challenge works. It's this simple. So if you want to ever get involved, drop me a WhatsApp, 07925 700 272, and you can take part and have a laugh with your other half. Right, whenever you guys are ready.
Yeah, I'm good to go, man.
Right, you couldn't hear Jessie, could you?
No.
All righty, good. Right, let's
shout at me.
Let's put this to the test. So basically, how this works is I've asked Jessie 5 questions about her, and you've got to try and guess what answer she gave me, okay?
Yep.
Question 1, I asked her to tell me her favourite choice of naughty food or go-to snack. You know, one of those things you just, when you just feel like a binge on something, what does she normally have?
It's got to be biscuits.
Biscuits?
Do I need to be specific? Or
if you can you think of any that are specific?
I know exactly which one she'll have every time.
Which one?
It's these like Fox's. Am I allowed to say brand names? Anyway,
yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Fox's Viennese.
I love it.
finger. Yeah. Anyway, chocolate biscuits, whatever it is.
Nice, love it. Okay, question 2. Obviously, we'll reveal the answers at the end. Question 2. What is... I asked her to tell me a bad habit that you hate, right? So what do you think she said is one of her bad habits that you hate?
One of her bad habits, mine.
Yeah, no, one of her bad habits that you hate.
Bad habit. There's just so many. I'm struggling to find. No, I'm only joking.
Love it.
Look, when we have a let's call it a slight disagreement, she'll pull a certain face, and it kind of, she knows that it's annoying.
Okay.
And I think she's so she'll basically roll her eyes,
Okay.
and I'll know exactly when she's doing it, and she'll not even be facing me, but I know she's done it, and I'm like, you just did it, didn't you? And
Love it. Okay, cool. Question 3. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Question 3. Say one thing. I told her to ask me, name one thing, that was on her bucket list that she really wants to do. What do you think she said?
These are really challenging.
Yeah, no, but you're doing well so far. Obviously, we'll reveal the answers at the end. What do you reckon?
So since we went to Amsterdam, and there was a swing over the edge, and I think ever since I did that with her, she's just got this daredevil thing. So it's either a hot air balloon, or jumping out of a plane, or doing a bungee jump or something.
Okay, cool.
Was it any of them, or am I wrong?
I'll reveal them at the end, right? Okay, cool. So I'm just writing them down so I remember. Question number 4, I asked her to name the best vacation that you've both been on together. What do you think she said?
Venice.
All right, cool. No worries. And last but not least, that was very certain, by the way. That was incredible.
Yeah.
That was like, super Venice, right? Last but not least, I asked her to name and mention a movie that she's seen loads of times and could still watch over and over again. What do you think she said?
I just see her watching really annoying reality shows at the moment.
What about movie? She did say a specific... Well, I'll tell you. I'll give you a clue. She did say a specific movie, though.
I'm going to have to wrap my brains in this one. I'm trying to think of different movies that she's even watched. She hasn't even watched Back to the Future.
No.
So I don't... Honestly, she's not watched Back to the Future. She's not watched...
Jussie, I disown
Karate
you.
Kid. She didn't watch Karate Kid until I've got the boys watching it. I'm trying to think what she would have watched. Titanic. That's what.
That's the one. All right, cool. Right, okay, cool. So let me just do my complex math right now and total the scores. This is obviously a very complex operation here. Now, I'm going to reveal the score to you. Are you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
A drum roll, please. Producer, not that there's anyone here. It's just me. Drum roll, and you scored. Are you ready?
Yeah.
5 out of 5, dude.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. That's a very impressive score, I must say. 5. Jussie, are you there? Can you hear him? 5 out of 5.
Did he get 5? Because I'm sure I said Cuba.
Oh, sorry. Yes. No, you got 4 out of 5. But you did mention 4.5. I think he should get.
Well, I mentioned it.
No.
Don't give him points.
No, sorry.
Don't
No,
give it to him.
she's absolutely right. 4.5 out of 5 because you did mention it, jumping out of a plane. But she actually mentioned Cuba as her bucket list thing. But she did mention it. So I think we drop that to 4.5, Jussie. I think he still gets that, right?
Yeah, let's swap it. You don't get the...
Well, we'll see what happens. Can we do this the other way as well?
Of course. You guys can come back anytime and do this. You can do it next week if you want. We'll do it the other way. But I have to say,
all my revenge.
Very impressive score. I'm so impressed. I have to say.
I knew Venice was definitely the answer.
Oh, yeah.
That was the one that was the thought, yeah.
Yeah, she didn't hesitate there as well. Listen, I just realised time is ticking on. It goes so quick. So I'm going to have to wrap this up. But I just wanted to say, both of you, thank you so much for taking part. Hopefully, Jussie, the nerves have gone now.
Yeah.
And you're feeling...
Yeah, thanks for having us.
No, thank you guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. So that is how we do, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Couples Challenge. And if you ever want to take part, you know what you got to do.
Catch our love guru, Amit Sodha, between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. every Sunday for that chill out zone.